Welcome back to the FlyQuest Red Network. We are here with Parks once again, and a market downgrade from Marky and myself as Floofys. And wow, what a game! Game number one of the night saw FlyQuest Red in a 2-0. I got to watch part of it. It was some good games. Emmy Farm. FlyQuest Red are looking really, really good going into playoffs. Now, 2 games left for the week, starting with one today and one tomorrow. Rawkus Cawkus tonight. How you feeling about this one?
I feel like I'm in a Monty Python skit of some sort. No, like you said, it was a good matchup earlier in the night. I'm glad that they got a little bit of a delay in between to kind of sit there and reset a little bit. We've been chilling and having a good time, watching a little bit of baseball. So I think all around it's been a good night across the board. So I'm hoping that translates farther ahead now. As you can see on the board, 5-1 in the top 10 of teams. There was really cool to see. And another win here I think would guarantee them into the playoffs. I'm not sure, right? It's eight games is weird on the best three, and I have been informed by production that a win here would definitely guarantee it to them. So yeah, I'm excited to see how the rest of the night goes for them, of course. And going from one strength to another. And you mentioned like playoffs coming up. Well, we were talking about it earlier. They've got DreamHack, they've got Frag Jersey coming up as well. So this is going to be Rawkus Cawkus on the other side there. The only person I think I recognize of this group is Grave Kevin. I think I've seen him before. Everybody else here, Yprak Demon, Servo, Unbound, and Costa, relatively new faces, at least for me.
So Kevin and Servo, I think, played together on the team that would turn into Super Evil Gang, that would then get turned into Ether, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
So pretty strong duo there. Obviously, ECL capable players, and I think they're going to be the big ones to worry about in my mind. Yprak Demon is one that's been in advanced for a long time, and again, just in general, it's one thing that I think is interesting about this week. So normally advanced, because it goes so long, they schedule 2 games a week, and you kind of get paired almost Swiss against teams with a similar record to keep things as fair as possible. This time it's just we schedule all the things and hope it all works out. So knowing that we have this game tonight and then knowing who the opponent is going to be tomorrow in Omen Esports, that's going to be a challenging one. I'm not going to say that that's a 0% chance or even a low percent chance, because like West Red have looked really, really good. I'm going to say that's going to be a challenging game tomorrow. So a win here would be huge. We're starting things off on Inferno. Sunny Inferno. And
I'm guessing that the night front's already been
map
done.
pick.
Yeah. Well, and then of course the other maps coming up after Inferno, of course, guaranteed Dust 2 as map pick number 2. That's a FlyQuest staple at this point. And then should we go to a third map, it'll be Overpass. So getting us going here on map number 1, it is the CT side for FlyQuest Red. And an early push down in towards Banana.
Yeah, this is a lot of pressure being applied. That smoke doing a lot of work at bottom Banana. Rock, they've decided to they paused basically at T steps, waiting for the smoke to clear. And now the challenge is going to come in. I like that we've got a player that's waiting for the flash, but there's no flash to emerge. Trade of kills. Now the question is, what do these dualies do? BB on a good kill, but that's going to leave us back to the 3 versus 3 as Rawkus Cawkus make their way over toward the B-bomb site. There's not really anything else stopping them. So smoke into CT, and we're going to go right to the after plant.
Yeah, rocking and rolling. Marie is pushing forward early on here to try and claim some space. Bomb gets planted to 1-for-1, and Costa will double. So just left to Freer, 1v2. He's trying to make space right now. For claim. Oh, the 90-degree turn and flick. Only finding one, however, though, as Grave Kevin is able to take her down. And that
I was worried she was getting a little bit tunnel visioned on the New Boxes player, and that turn definitely A really great move. It's a shame that she was left in that 1 versus 2 to kind of suffer while Rawkus Cawkus pretty set up. Now though, FlyQuest Red just going to send all 5 grouped up towards B.
I mean, will be the first point of contact here. She's gotten aggressive behind the sandbags, although plenty of other players around. Yeah, there you go. She'll start getting burned, push forward. No flash there to help her out. And it's the same thing again and again. Casa and Grave Kevin taking more as the Molotovs continue to flush out FlyQuest Red players. Interesting enough, the bomb was still relatively close by on, I believe on Grave Kevin. So he was kind of leading the charge at the same time as having the bomb in his hands. That could have been kind of disastrous if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, if Rock had left the bomb somewhere else, that could have been really bad. But this is just one of those, like, okay, we've got Molotovs. We're going to force our way down and until it stops working. They managed to go without taking a single casualty. I think looking back at those health totals at the end of the round, though, FlyQuest Red might be kicking themselves just a little bit. They'll have the full buy to go into round number 3, though, so I think at this point, the focus just has to be winning here and stopping the momentum for Rock from getting too out of control.
Well, hopefully the FAMASs work with that.
FAMASs are good. MP9 maybe a little bit less good.
Oh, nades are even better, though.
Ooh, okay. Breeder able to melt through these weakened players. Myprak Demon and Grave Kevin left to pick up the pieces. A good kill is the reward onto BBon. That's the MP9 down, but the rotation being called in. We've got Marie sitting behind that CT side smoke. Oh my goodness. The nades are just chunking through Rock. Grave Kevin knocked down to nearly half HP. The smoke could be the end of everything. We can see Breeder on the other side of it with 2 HP. She does fall. So Myprak Demon gonna have to do all the work alone. 1 versus 3. There's just too many FlyQuest players on site. And he will be overwhelmed.
Huge round there from FlyQuest and those nades to start things off. They read the playbook of the T side there of just they're gonna go fast up B. Throw some nades, we'll get something going, and that's exactly what happens. So you can see the immediate buyback from Rawkus is for those AKs, immediately reaching into the finances and basically taking all the money out of the bank. But the rifles here from FlyQuest Red now in play, and I mean this is a big round for both sides.
Yeah, but I think FlyQuest Red did do did exactly what they really needed to do, which is they stopped the momentum of Rock from getting too out of control. And like you mentioned, now they're basically on their last dollars. The utility not looking as good as always. There's only a singular Molotov left on Rock as well, and this one will push them back. So Servo taken to tick, has to fall back, and well, now the round gets interesting. Inferno, a very prickly map to play without utility, as the CT side can get real entrenched, and you don't have the Molotovs to flush them out.
Bomb is heading up Banana at this point, and it looks like Kevin's on his way as well. We'll go forward. Servo finding the opening. Costa as well. They'll take down the B defenders. And Marie has gone immediately for the save.
I agree with that. Losing your defenders and having the bomb down and knowing that you've got to go 3 versus 5, that's not a situation you really want to risk, especially when you've just finally picked up your weapons, and that's going to be painful. Unbound, knocked down to barely any HP with damage back onto Marie that will be converted upon Myprak Demon and Servo. They're not going to allow any saving from FlyQuest Red. I mean, going to be called upon, going to be aggressed upon from every direction, and it's Unbound to finally clean up that final player. 3 surviving out of Rock. And that is heartbreaking. That is just as awful as it can get.
I see Goose has immediately bought a Nova. And I'm okay with this. I'm okay with it for now. We'll see how it goes. She's had an affinity for shotguns, of course, especially with that Molotov early on. It gives her a little bit extra range. More utility follows. Servo's dead watching this. Although he's just dead in general.
The Goose got wings.
Flying away. She finds 2 huge kills. There's no guns being picked up from that, but it is huge to pick up. And that Molotov, it's a little bit of team damage coming through. Emmy now will try and lead it through the smoke. Beyond, yeah, they're just trying to crunch in, and it's working. Emmy and Vanessa, they both found kills. They're just left unbound. And from something and nothing at the same time, FlyQuest Red, humble beginnings.
So that Molotov actually gave Rock a bit of a false sense of security. They sent the molly in. They heard the tick. They're like, okay, they've backed away. They didn't push in fast enough. That is exactly why Goose was able to get into position. If they had pushed up with a Molotov, they would have caught Goose just sitting out in the open, waiting for it to be cleared. That would have been basically the doom of a lot of the round. But just a half second faster of a push could have turned that whole thing on its head. I don't know. There's one part of the whole thing. The flying Nova is always going to be one of those, I trust my fate to the gods of Counter-Strike, Gaben, take my mouse.
Well, it always adds a little bit of, I love the little extra bit of flair that comes with the kill coming that way. So back to regular weapons. I say regular with quotations. The standard rifles and op in Emmy's hand.
Well, standard for FlyQuest, Rock are actually stuck on pretty low buys. They've got rifles, but they've also got some MAC-10s, and they're going to be just knocked south as they enter on in. They're going for something a lot faster with these eco weapons. FlyQuest Red have utterly rebuffed them. Well, they're getting snuck up on as well, but BBon doesn't connect on the spray. Puts down the smoke to protect herself. Oh, she's going to try and walk right through it, but Grave Kevin off of porch going to catch her. That's at least something to go the way of Rock. Out from library, expecting Costa. He's continuing to improve as FlyQuest Red hustle toward evening these rounds out, expecting the pushover through Arch. Grave Kevin does manage to get the drop. Well, they're going to go right back in.
Yeah, there's still so much time left on this that, I mean, the rotation from Goose is forced just because they have to keep something closer towards B. Emmy getting that first one is huge. However, Servo will get the trade, and now Vanessa, 30 seconds left on the clock. It is going to be Servo going in towards A.
Oof.
It's a game of angles now.
Yeah, that was a heads-up plant spot out of Servo, and that might just be the round on its head. Vanessa emerges from pit to take the final kill. FlyQuest Red, their round looks so good at the start, and they end up with only one player off the back of it. They should be able to recover that AWP, but either way, from how great it looked, going down to one player, that's
it's expensive.
It does pull a lot of money out of Rock, though. Like,
yeah,
that is
and
something
I think that's the good point is that, I mean, even with the bomb plant, they were still forced to a double save, which gives FlyQuest more potential on rounds to get that lead. Don't appreciate that, Goose. the chickens alone.
Look, there can be only one bird on the server, apparently.
Hmm.
Well, this is definitely tempered Rock's aggression. They went for the fast push with the Mac 10 on the previous round, and now with the pistols, definitely going to be looking for something a little bit slower. Though, might just be the oops, we missed our jump, so we go B. Players here for FlyQuest Red to try and put a stop to this. Pistols make their way on in. The smoke right in front of them, but it looks like they're going to completely disregard that. They're getting ready with the U-Tail. Bibian going to take the brunt of this aggression. Good first kill. Molly goes in as well to try and isolate these duels. Marie shows up to bail out her teammates. And FlyQuest Red take a fourth.
And critically keeping as many as alive as they did. Right? So much struggle early on, not having people. We talked about it just around before, looking like it was a set round. They had four of five still alive, and then they give up two too many. So trying to keep as many as possible in this round of rounds, money going.
Ooh,
great boost up from Goose. Unfortunately, Vivian's not able to get a kill. Costa with the trade back. Gain advantage.
yeah, that's going to leave a mark. Pretty though, getting out in front of this smoke. Rock might think that she's flown the coop, but having her this close up and personal, she's going to be able to take one, though Rock's then too many, and she will be overwhelmed. So now, 3 versus 4, Rock's still looking at this B-bomb site. They're feeling bloodthirsty. Like, we lost a few too many. Meanwhile, Emmy getting caught over on the A-bomb site. Good trade out of Vanessa, but again, as these numbers get whittled down, this round is ever more scary. Vanessa spots 2 down mid, chooses to back away. We'll send Rock the other direction as well. I mean, this is just classic Inferno stuff, right? You leave a lurk and you kind of go back and forth until things work out. Now, I'm up over top. It's got Marie. She's got 1, but that's not going to be enough to stop Rock. Vanessa alone on the 1 versus 2. She's going to have a retake.
Does, in fact, look like she's going to go for it, so... One player roaming around in the back of the site. She'll get that kill. Her and the Y-Prac Demon. Checking all of these extra boxes. It's basically her entering in as if she's trying to take the site on the T side. However, in this case, the time limit is yelling at her, and Y-Prac Demon hiding in a corner. Finds the kill. Gives Rawkus their 4th. So we're back to being tied up again.
Yeah, a nice patient post plant out of Rock, making sure to... They kept both players together, so they gave themselves the best possibility of the trade. And so even though they lost 1, it's just like, okay, well, we know that if... 1, the player pushing in is not likely to keep pushing in once they've gotten that first kill, so the second player can kind of safely sit there. And it also just gives that extra information. Okay. I don't... Anyway, Casta's dead. Right off the bat.
The nades down B from FlyQuest have been insanely good so far.
Have nades will travel. Ooh, another trade though. Servo making his way on up does get erased. But now again, time for the player advantage out of FlyQuest Red. Smoke to block off Emmy. They know the op is lurking over there on B, so pushing her away does help quite a lot. Player spotted inside a church. That's Bibian dropped again. She's not having a great CT side this time around. Good thing she's got Emmy to back her up. It's a very different performance that we got to see yesterday from her. From almost dropping a 30 bomb in regulation Now, well, Rock, they seem to be convinced that B bomb site is the correct decision to make, and Emmy is here to disabuse them of that notion. Unbound sent scampering back down banana, so it'll be a 1 versus 3, but only one player has arrived on that A bomb site just so far. Not going to be enough time to search everything. There's not a whole lot of chance for Unbound to get this, so Vanessa just sitting up, boosted up, is just going to stomp right down.
Solid. And this is the kind of back and forth that you don't necessarily like if you're FlyQuest Red, but I mean, it's showing exactly how the setups are being worked on by both teams. And I mean, the nades down early, down banana from FlyQuest, and then Rawkus finding those little spaces and gaps to really make something happen. So
Well, it's pistols, which should be a good round for FlyQuest Red, but Servo serving up an early headshot on Emmy. Marie with her typical classic AUG. But again, these deagles are proving to be just too much for FlyQuest Red. Good trade back out of Goosebreeder, but there should be weapons picked up for Rock. In addition, they picked up that AWP. That is going to make things very difficult, but the first weapon the Goosebreeder will find. Versus 3 on the retake now. Rock's still on those deagles, but they've entrenched themselves onto the A-bomb site, and there's not going to be any easy shots coming in. Goosebreeder and PB on a couple of kills, but Servo now alone in the 1 versus 1 here to end it all. FlyQuest Red, they have been overwhelmed. They have been flattened by these deagles.
And I mean, we were a little bit shocked, but very happy that FlyQuest won their pistol round, their quote-unquote pistol round, and now Rawkus have done the same thing. They've taken a pistol round when they really shouldn't have. So seeing the buy come through for FlyQuest Red now, 3 MP9s, 2 M4s, and that's all they can really put into this one. So got to make less mean more in this round.
That is an awkward buy. That is... there's a part of me that wants to be like, it's Inferno. MP9 is great. But Rock have been very solid using their utility to clear out anywhere that you can reasonably hold a close angle with the MP9. First things first, there's Emmy in apartments. Vanessa looking to take up arms behind her, but like she might think better of it. Smoke doing a lot of work here for FlyQuest Red. Rock are like, they're convinced there's someone sitting behind it, which is a reasonable assumption to make. Goosebreeder's been there. There's just going to be the lurk left behind as the rest of the team heads on towards A, where these MP9s are holding. Vanessa, hot start with 1 and a second, but Cawkus will overwhelm and overload that A-bomb site. 2 versus 3. BB on, not able to connect either. I think at this point, Goosebreeder might be better served looking for the save, but she's still interested in going for this.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it could be a last ditch play to get that op in hand. There you go. Yeah, so trying to get the op in hand and go save it for the last round of the first half, and it's a good call to make when your team is flat out broke. It doesn't look like the remaining 2 for that T side are going to go and hunt her at all.
Well, this is stunningly even on the first half. This is not the way that Inferno normally goes. I mean, I guess Inferno can be stompy in one direction or just this kind of even. And it is a map with so many different levels of angles that there are a lot of different play styles that get rewarded. And so We're getting to see all sorts of things. It's nice.
Yeah. Well, hopefully we'll see some big moves out of Emmy here. She is currently alone on the B site, and that is where Rawkus are currently pooling up. Yprak Demon just on the other side of that smoke. Teammates not far behind. Bomb making its way over as well. FlyQuest have bundled up in towards that brackets area, but the real trap looks to be maybe heading over towards B. All of a sudden, there's no players there. It's, again, still just Emmy.
Yeah, I mean, it's a good start to the round. Honestly, like you have the player advantage, and we're down to these 35 seconds, so it looks pretty good for FlyQuest so far. Rock need to make a move. The move is going to be over toward the A-bomb site already. Unbound, good kill over to Goose Breeder. Vanessa looking for something on this MP9. She gets herself 2, and the Deagle good for 1 as well. Unbound now in the 1 versus 2 against the Deagle and the AWP.
Ooh.
Finds Horse Girl, or finds Marie. We'll see if Emmy has the right stuff to make this up, tie this game up. 10 seconds left. That bomb is down. There's nothing to be done about that. Head spotted. Pushing on in. This round is going to end in a matter of seconds. Molly goes over. Emmy forced to push on through. Pulls out the USP, and there's just not enough damage for her to convert. 7-5 for Rock.
It's a close affair. Exactly as FlyQuest wanted, coming into their second half, of course, going to that T side, but all good nonetheless. The great equalizer, of course, the pistol round.
I feel like I can't say that FlyQuest Red are winning all the pistols, right? Like last week, it was just like,
No.
okay, so it's a pistol round, so FlyQuest Red are going to win it. And then there's the conversion, so FlyQuest Red are going to win that. Now it feels like it's a pistol round, and it's actually up in the air how it's going to go. Which is nice. I like when there's a little bit of mystery.
Yeah, I mean, you know, bias aside, you want a competitive game of Counter-Strike, and you get the best when it's not just kind of decided by random chance. You add a little bit more flavor to it. Double boost up now into the half wall. I'm guessing it's all utility based.
Oh, maybe they're pushing in through the fire. Oh dear, that might not have been the right move. Asta, Servo, Yprak, everybody getting kills on the Rock side, not a singular one on the FlyQuest Red side, and a bit of a coin flippy push. They find the stacked site, and Rock perfectly happy with that. There was no kills on the FlyQuest Red side. Rock got everything they could have wanted.
Yeah, it's not great carryover. Of course, it is just up. I mean, the whole pistol thing is going to be more prevalent now.
Why is everyone just standing there looking at each other? We're just
there was
watching
probably some
Goose
kind of
Breeders.
conversation.
We're just watching Goose Breeders. Everyone's like, are you going first? No. Are you going first? No. How about you? All right, let's all go. Banana. Goose Breeder boosted up over the top. That's going to give some information as Marie gets naded down. Molly melts through Emmy and BB and safe to say, B-bomb site is really not the place for FlyQuest Red so far this T side. Vanessa does get one back. The Glock always going to be good for some shenanigans. Burst fire pulled out. Doesn't manage to connect as well. So Goose Breeder all alone. And, I mean, there's nothing to save. So I think she's just trying to pull Rock into some sort of a trap of some sort?
I don't know. Maybe they're scared of the kitchen.
Kitchen is scary. I started cooking. I started making tofu. Sometimes the range gets really hot. Fire is hot. Did you know that?
I did, in fact, know that, yes. I've burned myself one too many times to not have learned that so far.
Okay, though. My tofu is great.
Good.
Anyway, 9-5, and we are getting the first buy round at a FlyQuest Red on this T side. So this, if they follow a lot of what we have seen when they don't win the pistol, they've done a lot of, we lost the pistol, we lost the conversion, but we win the round after that. So high hopes that these AKs, especially with BB, she's had a quiet first half, but everything I saw from her last night was as soon as she got an AK in her hands, nothing would stand in her path.
Yeah, I definitely agree on that. And brings her A game most of the time, and a little bit of struggling right now. Like you said, get a little confidence back in, and we can see kind of how this rolls. As for now, Marie has gone down early. Damage done, but no kill on Casta.
And not the best start to the round. Minute in, and it's a 4 versus 5. Oh, Bibian about to get naded down to half as well. And nade landed right in her lap. That is uncomfortable, but not unrecoverable. We can see the boost up being done through the X-rays as well. These pushes out are going to have to be strong for FlyQuest. Oh, Goosebrute is going in through the smoke. Pierce is on in. Casta and Yprak sidelined. Bibian passes by a CT in the smoke. Howdy do. Does find Unbound, but the B-bomb site ends up being the right one to go. And so this could be good. Bibian continuing to find more weapons. Leaves it up to Servo in the 1 versus 4 on the side of Rock. He's going to go in for this. He might as well. Rock will at least have money for the following round, and if they can take away any of these weapons on the CT side, as Servo has just done, then it's $50 a kill for the whole team. Definitely wants to hold on to that rifle, though, so might as well peace out while he still can.
Yeah, that's a really good round to get your momentum back. Like you were mentioning earlier, they finally got AKs in their hand. They're going to make them work. And what better way to make them work than...
Also, thank you for Bonamont for the raid. Welcome on in, Raiders. Thank you for stopping by.
Love Bonamont. Been covering Shimmer games recently.
Yep, Shimmer has been picking up the slack. I was like, man, I want to get more games casted with duos, so I'm casting on FlyQuest Red, and he's taking the Shimmer games. Thank you. Oh, so there's what I was a little bit afraid of, which is AWP picked up for Servo on the side of Rock. Spirit are going to be pushed away. She does drop down to 25 HP.
I do like the timing of this. Sorry, I do like the timing of this. Oh, that's a miss nade there, but not as much anymore. But they had at one point the timing to only have 2 fully dedicated towards the site, and the third was to rotate over either between the 2. So running the equation makes things difficult. However, Emmy opening things up with a big kill. In fact, we'll find a second. Marie chiming in as well. They knew where the spots were for Rawkus, and that's going to be a save call coming in from Servo and Casta.
Well, it is finding the open site and exploiting it. There was the MP9 and Pit. That got sidelined. That got naded down. And, I mean, once the op was called out for FlyQuest Red, it was just like, all right, we just don't go that way. Interestingly, they did end up on the site with more players and still were able to just beat everybody there.
Way to keep people alive as well. 4 of 5.
Well, this is a good spot to start to pick up momentum on the FlyQuest Red side now that they've got those weapons, now that they've got a little bit of money under them. And now that they've sent Rock down to just an AWP and an M4, one more round will really give them that extra boost to just speed through this T side. Must be said that this is the round where things can start to get messy. This is the round where it's like, all right, we know there aren't as many guns. But things actually get a little bit more confusing, and they're about to find the AWP over in Halls. Vanessa going to be the first one deleted. Servo looking for more in Boiler as well. That's going to be called out that you know that the AWP is on the A site now, but you got to keep avoiding it, and Servo served up another kill. Yan. Double for the Opper of Rock.
What's going on with Marie over towards that B? I was about to say, kind of hiding between a smoke and nothing. That's going to be unfortunate. As didn't get picked apart here. Do FlyQuest. Rawkus just kind of, I mean, they play their timings well, and they play together well enough as well to get everything over the line.
Yeah, that's going to hurt. That's going to be now FlyQuest Red back on their own low bank account. They're still going to have the money for the buys, so they should be able to keep this rolling a little bit. Double op setup on the side of Rock. They've decided to hold on to the op from Emmy, and so Servo and Costa are going to be wielding that. That could be really dangerous here, especially in mid. It's such a big sight line to cover. Well,
Staying quiet so far. I don't know if they have the utility to be ready to handle this.
Double guns on porch. Molly goes in, but Grave Kevin, ooh, flashed up. And FlyQuest Red melt through both. Now it's just up to Servo, who did, for all intents and purposes, win the last round for Rock. And it looks like he's going to look to do the same. A double kill for himself before he does get overrun. Now it's just Emmy alone in the 1 versus 2. She's got the headshot angle to play with, but she's also got another op to play with. And Costa proves to be too much.
Just looking at the scoreboard, Servo is serving up. Kills on a hot plate right now, and Goose Breeder is trying to do her best. Emmy as well with Vanessa. Right, just not enough, unfortunately, to get them over the line here.
Yep, these pistols are going to just be mowed down. It's a target-rich environment for Grave Kevin and Apartments. Just everybody in alt mid his target, and Emmy and Marie, not a whole lot of a chance to get involved on this round. Grave Kevin, he's just strafing by the smoke in mid, and it's just like, I'll pull the trigger. Why not? Well, that didn't go the way they planned. That's okay, though. I mean, 5-round difference. Sometimes these maps are going to go like that.
And the good news is this is Rox's map pick, right? This is not FlyQuest map pick. And what's better about that? It just means, you know, They still have their map pick upcoming, and if needed, they can go to overpass. So there's still plenty of game left to go here, and that's the advantage of it being a best of 3 versus best of 1. If it was just best of 1, well, they'd hit 13, and that'd be it. They'd be done. So
Yeah, if this were best of 1, I mean, best of 1s in general always felt a little bit unsatisfying. It's like you get to the end of the game, it's like, all right, that was a nice appetizer. What's next? The credit screen.
yeah.
So instead, and I'm not saying that it's over now, but if it is, there's still at least one more map. Does look like a heavy lean for FlyQuest Red over toward that B bomb site. They've got Vanessa over toward A, but they've lost her. The 3 versus 5 for FlyQuest Red to try and fight their way in toward B. They've got a smoke in front of them, another one to replenish. Bibian going to be out first. Got her teammates behind her. Costa ready for this. Good kill to start things off. Costa stuck behind the smoke, just going for spams. So there's enough time for Goose Speeder to get boosted up as well and bombed down. Does feel like a winnable position. 3 versus 4. Bibian on low HP. Oh, she's gotten into great, but I think Rock should have been able to hear that. So it does look like she's about to be challenged. The first one down, going to be unbound, but she loses her teammates. So it's going to have to be all BB and shot from behind his servo to finish out the game. 13-7 in the favor of Rawkus Cawkus.
And 13-7. It's not exactly the start they want. I know we kind of went over that a few times, but yeah, Inferno is one of those maps I think that they haven't really fully figured out yet as a map to keep an eye on and keep practicing working through. And you can see kind of in the standings there, it worked for the first little bit. We think about Emmy getting all those early kills, Goose and I believe, yeah, Goose and Bibian probably over and towards the B side with a lot of the nade kills coming through as well. But I mean, you gotta give it to Servo on this one. 25 kills within the first map there.
It's funny because you don't usually think of Inferno as an opping map. And especially starting on that T side, that meant that he didn't have as many CT rounds. And still 25-11 to round out the game is huge. That everywhere he went was an absolute wall. Because like just anywhere they showed up, it's just like, yeah, Servo is just gonna elite you. You're just done. The CT side can be a little bit tough as well, and I think that you mentioned that FlyQuest Red are trying to figure out the map. It can be really tough when your opponent knows it really well. We saw the utility coming out well whenever the B bomb site was in question. We saw walls of smokes come out for A, and we saw a lot of just really great movements coming around. But we are going to head into our next map in just a few minutes. We do need to take a quick break before we do that, so we'll see you when we come back